Kansas City Chiefs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
I'll go on, Eddie. Get this warm up. Yellow. Alert 3. Collect. Check the backer. Recall, 132 fight.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And from the 25, they work this to the 20. .29, a gain of 4.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Hey, yo, go. Rocky. Out.
On the ground, this is Williams. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. James now to return. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go. Black 80. Get hot. 3 bucks.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle, 60 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Speaking of Damian Williams, great Super Bowl. 17 carries, over 100 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Charles, he also had one through the air. Did you think he would have that type of a game?
I wasn't sure that we would see that type of a game, but I knew he would be a part of their offense in terms of trying to break down what San Francisco does, that he would get the bulk of carries. But did I see 104 yards on the ground and a touchdown? Probably not. Did I see him catching one as well, 133 yards of total offense? Probably not. But give him his due, because now in his postseason career, which is 6 games, 5 of them with Kansas City, 1 with Miami, he scored 11 touchdowns.
Wow.
So on the big stage, the big lights, he produces, and he actually won the battle between undrafted free agent running backs, because his total versus Raheem Mostert, who ran for, I believe, 58 yards and a touchdown for San Francisco, advantage Kansas City, advantage Damian Williams.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They run. It's Williams. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. 4 now. Here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And the ball is knocked out. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And only able to muster a couple, down to about the 27. Raheem Mostert, he was great in that NFC title game, 220 yards. But Super Bowl, 58 yards on 12 carries, though he did score the touchdown in the 3rd quarter to put the Niners up 20-10.
And think about the journey of Raheem Mostert and what he's traveled. That he has a 220-yard game, 4 touchdowns in the NFC title game that you just mentioned. but only getting 12 carries in the Super Bowl, I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought, I only got 12 carries in a Super Bowl? That tells you how valuable he became and what people will focus on. And don't forget Tevin Coleman, the great comeback from the dislocated shoulder against Green Bay in the title game. 5 carries, 28 yards in the Super Bowl. Came back to start that game. Showed a great amount of toughness, but they didn't run it nearly as much as we expected. And they ended up with the result that maybe was unexpected too. A loss in the Super Bowl.
21. I got you.
Mostert trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
I got you.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
It's a jet sweep. Sanders. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
56 Mike.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They begin the drive with Williams. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10.
Let him know, let him know. Check safety, check safety. 15. 54's Mike, 54's Mike.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field. 15. Yellow. Check 24.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So,
and how about this, a fake? Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Garoppolo under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch the whip.
Mahomes going to throw. He sets to fire deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. On the return, it's James. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Mostert. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. This is Mostert trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
12. Check nickel. Check it.
Now Mostert. And an alley to run. And a across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. There's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Chiefs nothing.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll rifle this one deep right side. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Oh, here we go. Oh, 15, 15.
Check 49.
Shit.
Tighten up.
Yo, go going. 3. 15.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Hey, Sunday.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Mahomes now to throw. It's Hill, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle is going to be made at the 49ers' 42. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Williams. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Easy.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you. But I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would have been a lot better. But the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation, probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame. But it doesn't matter. Bottom line is getting there. Congratulations to all.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Right there, 56. Hey, 43, 15. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's Kelsey on the grab. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Watch the twist. 15. Yellow.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
43.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes dancing to his left. He'll run it. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Watch the shift.
Check 13.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
80 weapon. 80 weapon.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Yellow.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nick Bosa, and the Niners take over in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike, 54. Hey, that's scared. That's scared. Check 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And they give this time to the tailback. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Niners on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Standing right around the midfield stripe. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Go out. Hey, red. Check.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in, complete, past the 20, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards, and the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's get in there. 56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
Hey, gun.
Mike 56.
Now Garoppolo. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
11.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to Coleman. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
21.
At the 16-yard line.
That's me.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Mahomes. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And he'll get this up only to about the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Yellow. Let's get it. Let's go.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full. Lock! 12, fellas, here we go.
Check the backer.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back them up 5. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
56 to Mike. 57. Too little.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Watch twitch. Watch twitch.
One final try for Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.